that they have like document numbers 00790007. I'm just gonna say the 72, 71, 60 somewhere. They have okay. They are the affidavit for the search warrant. It's just 4 or 5 of them that are unsigned. He and no judge single, and they in discovery. So, mom, let's take a look at that. If you go downtown, if you go downtown and ask for the Kerry Porter file, and you get this, it's supposed to be blank. So I'm going to send the Department of Justice down there and some other people down there to do open records requests and see what I get and compare what they give us down there. Because if they mess what they gave me, if it's any different from what they gave me, see, I think mine's is a ruse. Either way it goes, I use a double-edged sword. Either way it goes, mom, I have to prove scandals and ruse. Okay, and pretextual this. Either word you choose. Okay, they all end up being the same. The whole factor is this, mom. They take and they have a pattern and practice. Basically they turn their practice into a policy of theirs, an unwritten policy. You can sue for unwritten policy if they carry it out like it's a policy. It is their plan, and it is they incorporate it as their policy. It's been argued that way. So even if I'm off, I'm right. Of this joke. So what happens? What happens, Mama, is that they have all of these. If they gave this to me, they basically tampered with public record. Because what they gave to me in discovery, Mama, is supposed to be public record. Okay, right. So if I have it and it says zero on it, nothing's on it, signed, and then you go down there and one sign, they grant you a hearing, and they have to explain and convince the judge by clear and convincing evidence that it was a mistake. Okay, so let me tell you their history on mistake. Their history on mistake is they just try to say that they gave DeMarcus Glover, that is Breonna Taylor's ex-boyfriend, that was the cause of this. Now they want to hit Kenneth Walker with it. If anything, why don't you go out to Marcus Glover? And I'm not trying to put the police on Marcus Glover, but I'm just saying. Right. But if you're gonna say somebody caused her death, then you will. That's why you wanted him to sign a plea bargain, Mama, that basically stipulates that they went over to where Brianna lived at, was supposed to be a innocent sanction. They went over there at the behest of her boyfriend, Marcus Glover, caused it. That's what they're trying to manipulate and say, whether through paper or otherwise, Mama, because they have to take the blame and the look off of them. Okay, so they draft up a plea bargain, Mama, like mine's, and their plea bargain has holes in it. Marcus Glover reads it, and it says to get it says admit that as part of the plea bargain, he has to agree that he and Breonna Taylor went to a drug cultivating, drug selling for profit thing. Okay, so what's wrong with that picture is Marcus Glover said, "No, I'm not going to sign that plea," and luckily he stood his ground, Mama. So when he stood his ground, well, luckily he did, Mama. And then the news media got a hold of it. See the what it is, Mama. That's why I write everything to the news media, cause they don't let the public know all of this sneaky stuff they doing. So when they what they did, Mama, was they so when Marcus Garvey didn't do it, they the news media called it, put it out in the paper, and the Commonwealth got to come back for it. You know what Thomas Ryan came back and said, Mom? Thomas Ryan came back and said that was a rough draft, and he don't know how the rough draft. Listen to this now, Mom. I don't know how the rough draft got into as far as the real deal to sign. Think about that. Who don't go over a contract as a you mean to tell me our Commonwealth attorney don't know how to proofread their own BS? They don't know how to, you know how stupid you look as a lawyer to write to take somebody a horrible piece of draft work.
And then turn around. Yes, I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Okay, so mama, on my dismissal, it's the same BS. On my dismissal, mama, Melanie Lowe and Bree here, Bree, I call her Bree. No, B. She pointed out, mama, that they crossed out August, mama, but they don't sign it. They crossed out August date, August 2000. This thing says, mama, it is so ordered. This 19th day of August typed in. They crossed out August and put December in there of 2011. Mama, August is the day that Andy Wilson found the paper.
I will be doing.
So now listen again. Typed in is August, but they have it scratched out. They have it scratched out, and not even the August, mama. It's not even initial. If you cross something out and change something, mama, you're supposed to
Right.
you're supposed to initiate. Both parties are supposed to initiate it.
Exactly right.
Okay, so they do it. They do it in the top one. They sign both the name. It says on the paper, mama. Uh, it says without prejudice. Okay, and it has ML Melanie Lowe and Dave Stingle. Okay, so if it's got those two on there, mama, they supposed to do the same thing for the buy. Anytime you change tamper with a record, it has to be initiated.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ain't none of them, but oh, Kerry, they are dirty.
well, it's a proof, mama, that they use that old stuff as a BS to bullshit people and say that this didn't happen this way. Okay, so getting on point to hook us up with Demarcus Glover's
Yeah.
plea bargain, mama. What they're gonna say when I say something about these unsigned documents, they're gonna say that was a rough draft. How can it be a? That's what they have to say something, mama.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna have to come up with something.
I tell you, Kerry, they just had stuff going on. I be damn.
It's all scandal. Well, okay, mom, think about it. Who's gonna catch it?
Yeah, you got a good point there.
Who's gonna catch it?
And admit that this is what's going on. Yeah.
Right? Who's gonna catch it? That's the.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 30 years. Y'all ain't caught it yet. Only person that has said something is Kerry Porter. That's why the AC and I think Thomas Ryan, he didn't say I was his toughest case, but he did say these four things. Once you his statements in the deposition, I am biased against Kerry Porter. Kerry Porter is a very prolific writer.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
He writes a whole lot. He says a whole lot. But then he try to come back and clean it up and say he says a whole lot about nothing. Okay, so that means I'll tell a whole lot about something. So he goes on, mama. He says that once you meet Kerry Porter, you'll never forget him.
That's
Okay,
right.
so those are just some of those I said, mama.
Yeah.
So he puts in the paper, mama. He says he puts in the paper. He bleed and he shouldn't have. It is illegal for an elected official. To me, it should be if it ain't. It is wrong for an elected official to place in the paper somebody's guilt or innocent, especially when they were not. I was exonerated.
Yeah, I got you.
I was exonerated as intentional slander. Intentional, it's
Mm-hmm.
personal, up close, and it proves beyond the bias. So
I don't know, but full of shit, was it?
wait a minute, but it gets worse, mama. You got to think about it. Okay, he puts this in the paper that during my when they said my civil suit should go to trial and they named him as my trial judge, he didn't like that. So what he said is he came back. AC wouldn't say nothing when the newspaper when the paper read Sunday's edition. Compelling evidence says compelling evidence
Right.
says the case should go to trial. Okay, so Thomas Wine comes back, mama, and he says my trial was clean, and he still thinks I'm guilty. How can my trial? I wrote to the Department of Justice, mama, and I said,
How do you? Yes, go ahead.
yeah, I wrote to the Department of Justice and said, how can my trial be clean if he talked to Juan
Thank
Sanders
you.
in his chambers on the day of my trial? How can my trial be clean if you had Juan as a murder suspect and you had me as a murder suspect for murder, and tried Juan in May and tried me in August, and you completely knew that this was the same person that I said was my other suspect defense. And around that moment, he cut a lot of my arguments off as being, yeah, Mama, I didn't get. Remember that him and AC. Think about it, Mama. How can my child be clean when you and AC have a conversation at a bench that says, uh, what do you say? Oh, AC says, now, Judge, we all know Juan Sanders is a very dangerous man. I wouldn't doubt he'd come in this courtroom and kill everybody in here for fun. Thomas Wine responds, he won't kill me. And AC responds back to Thomas Wine responds, no, he likes you, Your Honor. Listen to that. Listen how stupid that sounds. So AC them know a whole lot that should have been given to me. Listen to who knows it. If the Commonwealth Attorney and the judge knows this, then the trial is all messed up. So if the judge says he won't kill me, then you have see, Mama, a judge has to go into a case cold. He cannot have already warmed up facts about the case. So he already knew all the players. He knew what the outcome was going to be because he set it up for that.
Man, that's just, that's like they stepped in shit that they pretend it wasn't. I don't know. It's so
dirty. I'm gonna end it with that. That's why I wrote the Department of Justice. I'm gonna end it with that right now.